Give me your thoughts about the 2017 World Baseball Classic, Team Israel. What were your expectations of them going into that tournament?
So, I mean, I would love to say that my expectations, since we were following them around for this documentary film, was that they were going to go and win a bunch of games and be the Cinderella story of the World Baseball Classic. I would be lying if I said that. To be honest with you, this was a project where we took a group of players to Israel in the January before the World Baseball Classic, and that was really going to be the crux of the movie. And it was, Jewish American baseball players exploring their identity while in Israel. And then we kind of thought that the first pitch in Korea, that was going to be the kind of climactic. They made it, and it didn't matter what happened. And then they started winning games, and then they won 4 straight. And all of a sudden, we're like, wait, how far are they going to take this? And suddenly we have a longer movie and more of a baseball movie, and all good things. So it was a wild ride, and I was just thrilled that I was able to be there to be a part of it.
It was a great ride, and they got a bunch of fans were on their bandwagon when they were in Korea. I remember hearing them like clapping for them and stuff.
Well, how can you not? It's it was funny because depending on where you were and who you talked to was a different reaction to Team Israel, right? So in the United States, and we had the clip in the movie, someone in ESPN wrote that there was that there were a bunch of also-rans and wannabes. International press thought they were like Team USA JV team. Somewhere in between lies the truth with them. There are a lot of guys with big league talent, but guys sort of at the tail end of their careers and things of that nature. But it was kind of hard not to root for them because they were so unassuming. They had so much fun while doing it.
How tough was it for them to put that roster together? Because they did have some major league talent in that roster. How tough was that for them?
Well, it was tough because, one of the questions we get asked all the time, when we're doing screenings for the movie is like, well, did you try to get Ryan Braun or Alex Bregman to play? And there's a whole story with Alex, who really wanted to play once upon a time. It was March at spring training, and it's one thing to leave spring training and go play in Miami. It's another thing to leave spring training if you're an established big leaguer, or a top level one, and fly to the other end of the world, right, and then still be ready for the year. So it was more a group of players who had big league experience, or coming off of injuries like a Sam Fold, who didn't play another inning of baseball after the World Baseball Classic, and now works in the Phillies front office. Ike Davis, who probably had the best big league resume. I mean, Jason Marquis had retired and then came out of retirement to pitch in the Classic. So I think that's why they were sort of underappreciated in terms of how far they could go in the tournament, because they were talented and they knew how to win and they knew how to play the game the right way, but no one knew exactly how it was going to work because it was such a varied, you had some guys who were career minor leaguers or independent ball guys who played extremely well in that tournament. So it was a little hard to figure out where they fit in terms of your power rankings for the World Baseball Classic.
They had a pretty good coaching staff with major league experience too, I recall, from that team.
Yeah, well, Jerry Weinstein was the manager, and he was a long-time catching coordinator for the Rockies, and then managed in the minor leagues. Andrew Lorraine was the pitching coach, and he was the pitching coach on the team that just qualified for the Olympic Games also. He's actually in Arizona right now because he's a scout for the Pirates. So he's here scouting the Arizona Fall League. He'll be coming to some of the screenings in Scottsdale. So, but yeah, it was a very good group all around. And because all those guys had played for a long time, and I really think the fact that professionally they've been kicked around and forgotten and underappreciated, that helped them come together. That and the Jewish heritage really allowed them to gel. They did not have a lot of time together. They played like they had been together for years.
For sure. Anything else about the documentary, about the movie you want to say to us?
Yeah, well, the big thing is that it's I'm really excited because I'm here covering the Arizona Fall League. I said, well, we need to bring the movie to Scottsdale, so it's going to be at the Harkins Shea 14, starting on October 18th for a week or more if the movie does well, and Saturday at the 11:45 showing.
AM or PM?
AM. We'll have a Q&A after the movie with myself, Andrew Lorraine, the pitching coach, and Dean Kramer, who's an Orioles prospect, really bright future ahead of him, who played on Team Israel. He's here in the Fall League right now. And Baxter, the Diamondbacks mascot, will be there. That might excite people here in Arizona more than anything else. And then Sunday after the 4:05 p.m. screening, there better not be a 4:05 a.m. screening. I don't know who would go to that movie. 4:05 p.m. screening, we'll do a Q&A with myself and Josh Zeid, who was really the best pitcher for Team Israel in the tournament. And he actually lives in the area now because he works for the Cubs in pitching development. So he's out at Sloan Park in Mesa every day. So he's now an Arizona native, and he'll be there to talk about Team Israel. And I think a lot of people want to talk about what happened in the World Baseball Classic, but also looking ahead, because as of right now, it's just Japan and Israel, the only two teams that have qualified for the Olympics. So it should be a lot of fun.
Great. Is that it?
Yeah, that's good. We got a plug-in for when the movie is, even if you throw up a graphic.
Right.
That's
I'm going to go to that. So I'm going to